Well, it's bloody live, isn't it? It's bloody live. Only ever so shortly, but he's bloody live. He's been away on a short trip and he's back. And he's back with, allegedly, a new one-shot sniper rifle. Make of that what you will. Apparently this thing can dome people in the head up to 48 meters instantly.
I got you 6.
Which is very exciting. So we'll be using a lot of this today. And probably a lot of it generally, to be honest with you. God, I forgot how slow this game feels. So we are here, present, ready and aware with this new incendiary one-shot SPX. Don't know why this has happened. Would love to be able to tell you.
Now you deploy to the war zone.
Just a classic Call of Duty where something goes horribly wrong, eh? But here we be. Good to see you all, guys. Hope you're doing well. And let's get down to business, shall we? It's only duos and quads at the minute, so I've decided to solo fill in duos. We'll see how that goes for me. I reckon I'll be alright. But I will be honest with you, I am physically shattered. I did some trotting around, shall we say, the Iberian Peninsula. And it's really taken it out of me. I slept for most of today. Well, there are lots of people landing in. Whether or not they have good intentions for me is, that's a nice gun to find. Especially because I know that there are 2 teams here, at least. And both of them are looking quite hostile. Oh my gosh. You know what the main thing is about playing video games as a career? Eventually, when you stop playing them for a brief while and touch grass, looking at a monitor moving at 240 hertz looks really disorientating. And I wish I was kidding, but I'm genuinely not. Like, this looks super silky smooth, but at the same time, it just doesn't feel right.
Double XP secured. Make it count.
Right. Man has secured the bag. I have just seen you appear, so.
Station inbound.
There's a man behind me, of course. And it's TTV. It's level 800 TTV and his friend.
You're back on station. Get after it.
Thankfully, we are solo fill, so we can just insta-land basically back in.
Station is ready.
No gun. That's not good. Man, you really do move so slowly in this COD. You could just feel it. Like, anytime you run, it's like when you go away and play some other games, come back and play COD, it's like, man, this is sluggish. It's like having cinder blocks on your toes, man. It probably also doesn't help that I'm super spaced out and very tired, but that's besides the point, isn't it?
Hostile UAV in the area.
Yeah. What about my needs? I don't know if it's necessarily about good movement in terms of just speed, but in terms of feel. So, like, obviously I've played a little bit of BattleBit recently. And, you know, BattleBit isn't exactly like a, you know, it's not a movement shooter or anything. But with BattleBit, the way the game feels in terms of fluidity, you would never complain about it feeling sluggish, if that makes sense. Oh wow, it really does one-shot down people. Long day for you, lad. Couldn't have killed me earlier.
inbound.
Long day for your mate as well. I don't know if I'd use this on our Mazda or no, because it's only one shots up to 48 meters. This is definitely, you know, this is 100% a Vondel weapon, so to speak.
Requesting recon flyover.
I mean, I've got a UAV up, and I'm not seeing very many men. Maybe it's me that's the problem. You know, maybe that's not what I've quite established here. Now, allegedly, there's a man. There is indeed a man there. He seems quite fond of being in the war, though.
Enemy UAV active.
Don't know if I want that scrap, what with the whole, you know, perma underwater thing going on here between these two. It's 48 meters. Yeah, exactly 48 meters.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
Hostile UAV in the area.
There are definitely fuses in here. Don't have fast hands or anything, so... 48 meters is like most points of interest, I'd say. You also have to bear in mind that that's a one-shot down. If they've already taken damage, then you're probably down them anyway. Gosh, my long-range sniping is not what it once was. So that guy's already taken damage, so it's an easy enough down, you see. Doing snipers without fast hands, though, I'll tell you what, it's like some sort of crime. The reason I think this build is super promising is that you're going to be able to use it on, like, all of these tiny little rooftops and stuff where people are, like, fighting out. So, like, I'll be able to land in here, whip around. I've got these guys somewhere over in this general direction. Not very cash money of him, is it?
Gas is closing in. Hostile dropping into the area.
I'm hoping the game has some respect for the fact that I haven't played properly in a while. I mean, this is the thing, right? You know, don't get me wrong. You're not going to be hitting cross-map shots with this thing, but the SPX has always been a really fast sniper, which has always made it a really good option, objectively, I think, anyway. You know what? Fair play to him. He nearly completely nailed me with that drop shot.
Only 25 remain.
There's been rumors about Verdansk returning for a while now. Been like a long-term rumor.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
You know what? I can honestly say that I do like Warzone. It could be better, I think, but, you know, most games could be better, right? And that's just a fact of life that people say these days.
Moving here.
What we playing at here? You become some sort of mad
Hostile
toy
dropping
car.
into the area.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Enemy squad is tracking your position.
UAV active.
I think the thing for me, right, is that there isn't another battle royale on the market right now that offers the pacing of Warzone. Even though Warzone 2 is slower than Warzone 1, like everything else as a battle royale feels really slow and boring, and there's very little mid-game. Like if you play Apex Legends, for example, right? Apex Legends has no mid-game at all. Like that game is,
Hostile UAV in the area.
Watch your six.
it's begging for a mid-game, you know?
Fire sales over. Adjusting prices.
Requesting recon.
And there are a lot of games like that, and I think,
Online and orbiting the AO.
you know, COD is not a perfect game by any stretch of the imagination. There is a lot wrong with this game. Oh my word. But can I play anything else with this kind of pacing right now? No.
Enemy UAV overhead.
You know? And as long as that's the kind of question, and that's the central issue, so to speak,
UAV is exiting the AO.
then everything else is kind of secondary. Do you know what I mean? Would really like fast hands here. You know, for all of its flaws, I think Call of Duty has kind of nailed the perfect pacing for Battle Royale games in terms of, like, actually keeping them interesting.
Requesting recon flyover.
Yeah, it's not going to suit everybody. Some people won't like the quickness of Warzone. They'll prefer something more akin to PUBG or whatever, and that's fine too. It's just, I think for me personally, I enjoy that, and that's what made Warzone special to me in the first place. You know, what's always been the killer feature of Warzone, so to speak, for me, has just been the fact that I'm not twiddling my thumbs for 90% of the game, and I'm actually, you know, involved in actually fighting other players. What would I like to see changed and improved? I think the damage multipliers on arms, torsos, stomach, and head need to change a lot. That's a big one for me. Servers generally need to be way better than what they currently are. For me right now, servers are the biggest problem in COD.
The enemy lost track
You know,
of you.
the gunplay in COD at times, especially when you play like high-level lobbies in ranked, it just feels random, you know? It doesn't feel like anybody's won or lost a fight for any specific reason. It's like, you know, we shot at each other at the same time. He shot me in the legs. I shot him in the, you know,
Hostile UAV in the area.
he shot me in the legs. I shot him in the chest, and somehow he won, you know what I mean? And I feel like I get a lot of that in this game. So for me personally, that's always been an issue. And it's something I can honestly say that, like, the average player won't notice it, which is why I don't think there will ever be much traction on the problem. But, like, people who play lots of shooters and people who've played, you know, CSGOs and Valorants and PUBGs, like, the hit reg and the damage, just the way this game works at times, it just isn't normal, I think is the way I would describe it. It's not like
Right near your position.
any other FPS you will probably play.
Enemy UAV active.
Why is this suddenly pulling over this way? I mean, stuff like this, right? You know, I've just received a mortar strike warning to this side of the roof. You know, and now it's over here, on the other side of the roof, and it's like, how does this game work sometimes? Like, what is the thinking? Yeah, on a lot of the guns right now, the difference between a headshot and a chest shot is basically zero. I don't know why they've approached it that way. I don't know if it's like a choice thing. I don't know if it's just something they didn't think about and got wrong. It's kind of hard to pinpoint what the exact reasoning for all of it is. I personally think it's because they wanted to keep the skill gap really low, even though they were increasing the health. That's my own opinion, but, you know, some people won't agree with that.
Right here.
Oh my god, I'm getting terrible shots here. You hit that shot, bro. Honestly, I deserve that. Good god. Couldn't hit the sign of a barn door there.
Soldier incoming.
Oh, no way. Lost the 1v1. I didn't even hear that guy's parachute, to be honest with you.
Less than 5 still standing. Next time, we take the win.
I'll be honest with you, I don't really understand the whole I don't understand the whole headshot thing from my end, because like I think for everybody who plays a first-person shooter, the natural thing is to aim for the head, right? I can kind of understand it in like SMGs, because obviously SMGs you mostly sort of spam hip fire at close range, right? So I can understand reducing the headshot multiplier on that, but for everything else, I'm just not sure. I feel like they don't want a skill gap, and this is the problem. I think this is a problem that Call of Duty has been battling with for a long time, and it's really held competitive back in COD. COD is obviously a very universal, very casual-friendly game. You know, anybody can pick up a COD and play it and probably have a decent time. Especially with SBMM these days, right? Like, if you are literally the first time you've touched a video game controller in your life, there are COD lobbies that exist that will be the same. And I think because of that, you've got one line of development where it's like, this is what's better for the game. This will make it more competitive. This will make it more balanced, more fair, more even. And then you've got another line of the game development. It's like, this is what will be fun for the average Joe who's playing it once a Tuesday night. You know, you only need to look at like fire shotguns, right? You know, the KV broadside automatic fire shotgun. Not a single soul I can think of who plays this game regularly went, yep, that's a good idea. you know, but if you're a casual, maybe you sort of had fun with it. It got you a couple of kills that maybe you probably wouldn't have gotten before. I don't know. I always feel like the flaw with that kind of line of thinking, though, is that, you know, players like me, let's say I happen to land into your lobby. I'll know how to exploit that weapon twice as badly as you do, right? So, in a way, I will inevitably end up ruining the game for you. You think they'll patch the SPX? I'm not sure, actually. I mean, I don't really see the need for it. You can use one-shot snipers regularly, if you want to, anyway, now. So, I think the SPX is a little bit quick.
5 seconds! 5 seconds!
Survive to redeploy fallen teammates.
This is the SPX. I will show you guys the build, but basically just put incendiary rounds on it, and you're good to go for one shots up until 48 meters. Let's try and land Zoo here. Like, you know, I've always been alright with Call of Duty having casual components of the game, and often, you know, the casual... Not these boys trying to 1v2 me. Not trying to 1v2 me as bunny rabbits and getting absolutely yeeted on off rip. Oh my word. God damn. Like, COD has actually thrived at its best when it is just having more fun. Zombie, the first ever Haunting of Verdansk was like, to me, that is creme de la creme COD. You know what I mean? That is the Warzone I think about in my sleep. But the problem is like, those are fun if they are LTMs that you can choose to play. COD does this thing where like, they regularly force LTMs on everybody and they're like, you must play this. You must. What do you mean? What do you mean you're trying to play normal COD? It's April 1st. Doesn't that mean you want to, you know, just get randomly dunked on by things? What do you mean you want to play normal COD? Here's a Krampus that's going to annoy you for like 2 weeks. You know? That's always been COD. Haunting of Verdansk. Oh. I knew I heard someone below me there. I just wasn't sure where. Although it did sound like that was to my right, so it might be two. He's probably, yeah, I was just about to say, he's probably trying to figure out how to get up to me.
Hostile UAV in the area.
You are a lucky man. It's a good thing you've got me pinned. Like, I think about playing Haunting of Verdansk with, like, Westy and Stod and Jack, and, like, that was the best of COD for me. No way has he just decided to shoot through that. You know, I need to skedaddle. That's what I need to do. I need to skedaddle, get some plates.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Approach that again when I'm not in a woefully terrible position.
Be advised, there is an enemy squad hunting for you. Gas is moving.
Enemy UAV active.
I think that's kind of the issue with regular BR now. Is like, you used to be able to play regular BR and like have a bit of fun with it. You can't really do that anymore because of how tight the SBMM is and stuff. So like, I wonder if, you know, there are an audience that maybe they are just playing DMZ or they are just on Resurgence or they've just given up altogether, you know? It's kind of hard to guess. I'm going to pop this out quickly.
Question recon.
And I'm going to get another one.
UAV is on station. Recon online. Hostile UAV in the
So,
area.
have we traded places? Because I believe we have.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Yeah, it's been like 3 years since the Haunting of Verdansk. I mean, that's kind of what made my channel, was streaming back in those days. And I do think, you know, I do think Warzone 2, quote unquote, you know, next-gen Warzone, does have good days on its horizon. Especially with the new Call of Duty coming out. Like, I'm sure they're cooking up a storm for that. But, you know, like, I just think... I don't think it delivered the splash they wanted it to deliver. And I think that's a fair assessment of it. You know, the first escapade into
safe.
Warzone
lost the enemy
2.0
tracker.
wasn't quite, I think, the success story they thought it was going to be. There they are. Can one of you please go down?
UAV is bingo fuel. RTB at this time.
I'm really sorry, but I'm going to have to finish your friend. Have you rezzed that man with a flare instantly? That's not very kind. Oh, I'm bummed. That was a good nade. Gosh, that ISO 45 is really killer over range.
Time for vengeance. You're redeploying.
Think I can get my Lodi. They're probably going to look straight over here for me. Let me just get girls here for a hot second, shall we? Oh lord, they're coming. That's a shot. Not me moving like a squid in ink. Yeah, Madrid was nice. Barcelona was nice. I didn't stay in either place super long. It was kind of more of a passing through journey. But they were nice. I think I definitely preferred Barcelona to Madrid. I don't think... yeah, I'm not saying I wouldn't recommend going to Madrid. I don't think it was anything particularly special. I felt like Madrid was a very busy city, and not in like a good way. Because there's like busy good, and then there's like busy hectic. That's a very very classically hypocritical thing for me to do, to be like, yeah, I've gone to a city. Oh, it's busy? What a shock. I definitely preferred Barcelona. I think the atmosphere and the buildings and just... I don't know, Barcelona just seemed to have a bit more of a laid-back feel to it, even though it's obviously, again, a fairly busy city. Like, especially, you know, coming from Lisbon, Madrid was like 4 times as hectic as Lisbon ever is, you know? Whereas I'd say Barcelona was a little bit more like Lisbon in terms of the pacing.
Mortar strike on the way.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Yeah, the SPX is a one-shot up until 48 meters now. What am I watching over here?
Impact. No hit.
That man's just dove into his own Molotov cocktail like some sort of Giga Chad, hasn't he?
Enemy soldier incoming.
He's being landed on. I'm not going to back the beef.
Move in here.
Brothers, what am I watching? What is occurring? Oh my gosh.
Enemy UAV active.
I haven't put the SPX on the loadout command just yet.
Being tracked by an enemy squad. Engaging combined. Fire sale active. Buy station prices have been reduced.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Why am I not reloading?
into the AO.
Enemy UAV active.
Bro, can we have some decorum?
Target spotted.
Why are you all shooting me? Shoot each other.
Get ready. Resurgence window is about to close. Enemy sniper here. Get down. Fire sales done. Prices are back to normal. We are returning you to the front. Earn this.
Let's try another little frontline landing, shall we? Where to go? That's the million-dollar question. That roof is... What gun have I got? You know what? All or nothing. I could definitely kill this guy.
Gas moving in.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Of course I'm being looked at from behind. When is it ever simple on this map, eh? This guy might be walling. Yeah, I think he is. He seems to track that a little too
No longer
perfectly.
active. This is for keeps. Get ready. You're redeploying.
Especially without a UAV. I was a little suspicious when he first, like, flicked right to the right to... Obviously, it's fairly common sense that I'd be in that location, but to kind of trace me almost with his central reticle the whole way through, like, a little bit questionable. I mean, I'll report it anyway. Who knows? Who knows in this day and age, right? Oh, go on, hit a reload for me. I mean, I'd hate to be him.
Gas is moving.
Why are you using that weapon?
Hostile airstrike near your location.
Very good, very good. An airstrike whilst the gas is closing in my head. Yeah, very good. Das ist good, yeah, das ist good. Yeah. So far behind the corner.
25, we're still standing. They
So
hit us
far.
hard that time, but we will settle the score.
Yeah. On his screen, I hadn't even bust the corner yet. Why are you not playing ranked anymore? It's honestly just a case of finding teammates. Like, it's... You know, I didn't play ranked at the start of the season because obviously Vondel came out and everybody's already, like, crimson and iridescent in the space of 24 hours. And I'm just sort of like, well, you know... I'm gonna play the new map. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not... You know... I'm gonna play the new map because it's the new map. Like, I'm not gonna dive into ranked on day one, you know? Like... Don't get me wrong, you know, I like ranked and I enjoy playing it, but I'm not like, you know, I'm not full sending ranked day one, like, instantly. Like, that's a bit too much for me, do you know what I mean? Oh, this is the build, by the way, that I'm running. You could hypothetically put a Forge Tac Delta on this. But yeah, the only important thing is obviously I've got the match grip under the camera here, which is the rear grip. Incendiary rounds, nil sound, OLAV laser, and the Lockman Impact 9. The incendiary rounds are the one that obviously does the one-shot damage. Chris, thank you for the £2 super chat. Good to see you. I mean, we will get back into ranked. I'm hoping to maybe find a team for tomorrow and, like, finally get... Because once I'm into Crimson, I can basically play with anybody, right? But it's just like finding a team to do that with. So we will have to figure that part out. But yeah, that's the build I'm running, by the way, if you are interested. I personally prefer quick fix over high alert, but, you know, your mileage may vary. I think quick fix is a really important fixture for this map. You know, I really enjoy ranked, and I will obviously keep playing it, but it's just like, you know, I'm not going to spend 2/3 of my day looking for a team. You know, like, if I don't have a team by 9 AM, I'm playing Vondel. Like, I'm not, you know, I don't have much other choices. Well, I can't spend all day looking for ranked teammates. I need to have pre-scheduled teams, to be real with it. Like, with Vondel, I can jump into it whenever I want by myself, and it's just not an issue. Like, I could go live right now, you know, at 5 o'clock, and I don't even have to think about who's online. Not me scuffing the easiest shot in my life.
Hostiles dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Training is over. Time to see what you have learned.
Right. Let's dive on in, shall we? Yeah, Jaff's already iridescent though, so I can't play with him because I'm still Diamond 3. So I need to be Crimson to play with Jaff. I like ranked, I like the way it works, but like, I don't know, I just feel like everybody, for the first like week, it's fine because it's so easy to find teammates, and then after that, it's like, oh, you're not exactly this ranked. See you later. Like, I feel like that's probably going to put a lot of people off of playing it with their mates, or like making it much harder to play with their mates, isn't it? Like, the fact that it's hard to even, I mean, obviously content creators are a little bit different. All of us are towards the sort of topper end of things. But even then, it's just like, it's just a ball ache, isn't it? Like, I don't want to have to think about the logistics of finding teammates. I just want to play. Got a feeling there's a man here.
Requesting recon.
I would be technically incorrect, but there are definitely men about though. Holy!
Hostile UAV in the area.
Let's say that one again.
Tony es un entre equipo. No me llames,
UAV overhead.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
I should not have won that sequence.
Enemies deployed a buy station.
Been shot by some random geezer. Call of Duty, not like this. Not me getting shot by random dudes, bro. They're not even the same guys. God, that ping. Did you see that hit marker he got on me?
Make it count.
That hit marker he got on me when I was like already down, like behind the... That's
Watch for
insane.
enemy movement. You're losing ground.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Shit. I can hear a lot of guys around me.
Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy UAV active. Hostile mortar strike in the area.
What are my hopes for Modern Warfare 3? Honestly, I just... How have I lost that to an MP7? Oh god, what is this optical under it? I guess my hopes for Modern Warfare 3, if it is MW3, of course, I just want it to be more refined. Like, I don't want it to be... Like, I can't play Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. I think it's a snooze fest. Like, I think Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer is really boring. But there's nothing to me enjoyable about playing a Warzone experience. Sorry, playing a COD experience, where the time to kill is like 0.001 millisecond. Like, every gun in Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 2 may as well be the same gun. But there's basically no difference. So I think that's a big one for me. I just want it to be a more refined... So deserve to win that fight. You guys are terrible. I don't know if they'll get rid of the die. I don't really know what their plans will be for Modern Warfare 3. Honestly, to me, just having a better multiplayer / general gameplay experience is kind of a big thing. I don't think the current multiplayer experience for COD is very enjoyable. Warzone, I still think, has elements to it that I think people enjoy.
Locations marked.
Oh, can I please find an actual weapon? These guys were just forced, still here somewhere. I heard one of them fire his gun. These guys are trash cans. Being hunted by literal trash cans.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Bloody vanished now, haven't you?
Enemy UAV active.
You bloody SO14. What do you think this is? Ranked?
Gas moving in.
Come on.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Come on, I know you're ratting around. I'll make it my mission to murder those men. Yeah, it's one shot within a range, but it's a really quick weapon. So that wasn't a one shot down because he's beyond 48 meters, but you know, like the gun itself is so rapid to use. Reloads are really quick, the rechamber's really fast. There's a lot of upsides to the
Hostile
SPX.
UAV in the area. UAV active.
I'm sorry, rat skin's gone.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Fire sale is active. Buy station prices are adjusted.
Damn. I wouldn't be peeking me if I was shooting like that. Can't lie. It was worth it to make sure that you guys can spawn back in. Silly rat skins.
Resurgence is about to end. Make it
Kind of
count.
specific vendetta with those guys. I mean, they're not
Only
here
25
anymore,
left.
so I guess I won.
Keep up the good work. Fire sale's over. Adjusting prices.
It's one thing I really appreciate about Vondel is just like the way some of this is designed, like the fact that those are jump ups.
Ah putain. Est-ce que c'est...
Well, that's not very polite, is it?
Gas is inbound.
The intelligent thing to do here, because this guy's definitely on the roof, right? Like, or he's somewhere above, generally.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
I don't think he's a... Excuse me.
Target marked.
Stuff like that, you know, like...
Resurgence has been deactivated. This is the end game.
What was my gameplay today? Oh yeah, a man with an RPG and fire shotgun.
Time for action. Deploy.
Like, I don't believe anybody that says that that wouldn't make them stop playing. Because if I'm just like a casual guy, right, I've only got a couple hours to kill an evening, and I get killed like that, best believe I'm logging off. I'm done for the day.
Closing in.
Listen. Did you not know that I'm an egoist striker? I'll take a little bit of all of this, why not? What about the Iron Sight Tempus Razorback? That's a little bit questionable. But I just... like, obviously I know that that guy's killed me, right? You know, it is what it is. But, you know, if I'm playing this game sort of on the chill with my boys, and I get fire shotgun to death like that, like, am I going to carry on playing? Nah. I'd say, yep, that's BS. See you later. I'm going to go play something else. I honestly think, like, developers for most games, I think they underestimate, like, if you feel like you've been cheated out of something in a game, like a win, a kill, whatever, I honestly think it's one of the biggest factors in players determining not playing. Or just, like, giving up playing. That they just don't really talk about, in my opinion. Right, that guy's a... What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my god, you guys are so terrible.
Enemy still got one, but we will be back to finish the job.
These guys are awful, bro. Like, what can you even do against that? You know, like, some guy just turns the corner with a fire shotgun, it's just GG, dead. Like... I don't know, like, I understand some people who say, oh yeah, it's, you know, it's just a bit of a fun meta, so-and-so. But, like, I personally, like, if I wasn't streaming this and I was just playing casually with my mates, and if I died like that, I'd be done. I'd be on the next game. Like, if I'm just playing with my mates in the evening and I get cheesed out by some, like, 40-round fire shotgun, like, I think that'd be me for the evening. Actually, yeah, I suppose I should probably check that. I did say I was going to play with Ems, so I need to check if she's ready. I joined the game. Oh no. Whenever she's ready, we'll join her.
Check your gear and weapons.
Brother.
We go soon.
What is that mic? I need to have a word with... I need to have a word with console manufacturers as to why microphones on controllers and consoles sound like they're in a bin. Like, they sound like they're in, like, a metal bin. You know what? I can honestly say, having played... I've forgotten the name of the shooter. The new one coming out, Ubisoft. X-Defiant. That's the one. Having played X-Defiant, even when I was just chilling, like, I was having an okay time. And I know obviously that's coming from me and I'm a decent player and whatnot, but like, I do feel like that would be the game that people can genuinely just relax and play with their lads in the evening, like... I get the impression, at least, that that could be a game that maybe turns the tide on that conversation a little bit. I respect it, but it was never going to work.
Enemy UAV active.
We need Battlefield.
Enemy
Do you know what?
incoming.
This is the one thing I'll say. If the developers for the next Battlefield truly embrace the feedback from 2042 into the next game, like they genuinely take that feedback seriously, they could produce an incredible game. They really could. They could make a Battlefield 3.5. obviously the development team has kind of changed now. It's a different studio,
The fog is
that's
lifting.
kind of running it.
Expect increased visibility.
Or at least running the final say on the show by the looks of things. But they really could. You know, if they make a gritty modern Battlefield that's like, you know, just take what made Battlefield 3 good and put it in a modern, updated setting that feels more like it belongs in the 21st century, and you're laughing. You are laughing. That game will sell like hotcakes. Oh, you just got egoed the shit out of.
Keep going.
Positive ID on the bounty target. Eliminate them.
Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy UAV active. Hostile UAV in the area.
Because that's always what's made Battlefield special, right? Like, it's that raw Battlefield experience. You know, it's that feeling of just being utterly overwhelmed, surrounded, bamboozled, and finessed by everything around you that wants to kill you. My bro, how did you lose that fight when you had all the drop on me? When will we see a new Battlefield? I think they'll release one next year. My theory behind 2024, because there's a lot of people saying, no, it won't be 2024. No way, no chance, right? Battlefield Portal had planned support for 2042, right? And then suddenly it didn't. It vanished. The support for Portal just disappeared. And the reason for that is because when they announced the change in leadership at Battlefield, that Ripple Effect was going to be playing more of a role and Vince Zampella was going to be playing more of a role, I'm telling you here and now, they started developing the next game that day. Like, Ripple dropped Portal on its head, said, right, they've told us to move on and crack on with the next game. See you later, lads. And that is exactly how that conversation made. Because the thing with 2042 is that the bones of the game aren't bad. Like, you know, the engine is pretty incredible. You know, the engine is really well optimized for a game that could handle 128 players. I mean, obviously, they'll probably go back to 64. But if they go back to 64 on an engine that has the overhead to do 128, so there's a lot of spare processing power available, I mean, they're laughing, really. You know, they've built an engine for double the problem that they don't have. So yeah, I think I reckon if they cover the feedback well, which I think Vince Zampella probably is going to be being quite big on, in my humble opinion. They do that. I think they're chilling. So 2024, confident. I'm extremely confident that they will release a new Battlefield in 2024. Yeah, I'm not saying this with any like insider information or anything. I don't have any of that, but I feel it in my bones. Because the quickest way to get out of a previous disaster game is to make everybody instantly forget about it. Brother, you bamboozled me. Where were you? I did not see... He has a gold gun, and I didn't see him at all. Like, I did not visually see him. What are your biggest hopes for changes in the next Battlefield? The thing for me is the Battlefield isn't a difficult topic. The formula has been there for decades. You know, good iconic maps, destruction, 64 players, and a bit of chaos, you know. Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5, I mean, less so 5, but definitely 1, were incredible at, like, making you feel in the moment. You know? Like, there are very few games that can say that they can do what other games do in cutscenes in the game. And Battlefield's one of those games. Battlefield can do what other games do in cutscenes in multiplayer. Like, it's a very unique Battlefield thing to be able to do. You know? I think people will play it regardless, to be honest with you. The FPS space generally is so dry that, like, the second something new releases, I don't think people are going to care that it's come from Battlefield. I don't think people are going to give a crap about any of that. They will just play it. I don't think they'll pre-order it, but if it comes out and it's a decent game, they'll definitely go buy it. Probably sell like hotcakes eventually. If they produce a decent title, that is. I was scratching my face and you still lost that. Yes, you go infect your friend.
Enemy soldier incoming.
It just needs to be Battlefield 4 or 3 with the environment and feeling of Battlefield 1. Because Battlefield 1 made you feel like you were there. And that's a really hard thing to do. A really hard thing to do in a video game. If they nail that feel with a Battlefield 3 setting, bro, you're laughing. You will sell... You will be the #1 top-selling FPS that year. Not even a question. But, you know, it's just about whether or not they know that formula enough anymore. Because, you know, it's been a long, long time since Battlefield 4 and 3 released. You know, how many of the developers who worked on it are still there, you know? How many of the new developers have actually played those games, you know? But no, I have a lot of faith in Ripple. Ripple Effect made Battlefield Portal in less than a year. Which is a really impressive thing to do. So I have a lot of faith in Ripple Effect. In terms of them just being a development studio. There are a lot of really talented developers there that I know personally. So if they're heading up the title and the project, I honestly think the project would go really well. There are a lot of guys at Ripple who just know Battlefield. Like, they get it, you know what I mean? You know, a lot of developers there who I've met, who I've spoken to, who I know quite well, who just they understand what makes a battlefield a battlefield.
Enemy UAV active.
Move in here.
I'm also kind of glad EA is just supporting it properly, to be honest with you. Like, having 3 development studios working on the next Battlefield, I think is going to be quite a good thing for it.
Recon flyover.
Copy that. UAV.
Because they did technically have like 2 or 3 studios working on 2042, but that was only at the end, and they were only there to help because the game was kind of in trouble. A bit like how Black Ops Cold War is actually a Sledgehammer Games game, not a Treyarch game. Whereas this time, you know, from the jump, they're going to have 3 whole studios working on Battlefield, which is a really good thing. Because I think Battlefield will release a Battle Royale. That I'm fairly confident of. I'm fairly confident Ripple Effect will be the ones making it. You know, you've got Vince Zampella there, who literally gave them Apex Legends. But they'll only do that if they know that they can guarantee a perfect multiplayer experience. Because they know what the sentiment in the community is like. They kind of get that people, you know, don't want to see their favorite Battlefield multiplayer sacrificed because somebody wanted to play a BR. They seem to understand that. So I think they'll only ever release a BR if they're confident that they can deliver a fully fledged multiplayer. That's not very kind, is it? Very cash money of you, wasn't it? Easy enough. I think I was just handing out free headshots, huh? Oh, you think this is? I think 2042 was going to be a battle royale, and then they turned it into a battlefield. That is my honest opinion. Because if you think about 2042, it released with like what, 7-8 maps. The specialists actually kind of low-key made sense in a VR, just not in Battlefield. My personal humble opinion is that that is exactly how that transpired.
Gas moving in.
Those guys firing off their guns whilst they're in a gunfight. Love that. I reckon the next Battlefield will be good. I want it to be good more than I think it will be good. Because Battlefield truly is the only FPS left that isn't riddled in SBMM and engagement-based matchmaking and bullshit battle pass statistics and please play our game for 12 hours a day or you can't have fun. Like, even 2042, for all its flaws, you can just drop in and play it and just have a decent time with your buddies. And the fact that that is now a hard thing to do in modern multiplayer is
remaining.
wild.
Learn from the loss. Failure is a wise teacher.
Oh, knock it up. What can we do? I've heard... I'm going to use this word for... I'm going to try lockdown, by the way, because I haven't given it a go. Here's the build, by the way, if you missed it. I've got the match grip rear grip here that you can't see. Tuned for ADS and sprint to fire. But you're tuning for bullet velocity and ADS on that. I'm gonna give this lockdown mode a go, because I haven't tried it yet. I don't even think Battlefield's a difficult concept, right? Like, if you want the perfect Battlefield, right? You need it to feel gritty and warlike, like Battlefield 1 did, like Battlefield 3 did in some of its missions. You need it to have Battlefield-like features, classes, different weapons to unlock, weapon leveling, weapon statistics. Because like all the weapons had stats pages and unlocks, you know? You get 300 kills. Oh, I've unlocked a new grip. Sick. You know, level trees for the vehicles. Honestly, the biggest thing for Battlefield is nailing map design. Because Battlefield as a game by nature is chaotic. And 2042, because it was 128 players, proved that Battlefield's weak point is that if you have maps that aren't made well, then Battlefield doesn't flow. Because the best thing about Battlefield 1, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, so on and so forth, is that you could kind of be a one-man army soldier. Because if you knew how to work the map and make it flow to your advantage, you could challenge squads, you could, you know, do a 1v3, 1v4, 1v2, you could get those cool back rages and streaks. You couldn't do that in 2042 because it was just open 128 player madness. There was no flow to it. Even in Battlefield 1, I didn't enjoy Battlefield 1 in terms of gunplay, but you could work Battlefield 1. You could make it flow towards something that made sense. You could use cover, you could, you know, work your way through objectives. There was just a flow to the gameplay that kind of came over time. That doesn't exist in 2042, and I think they realized that when they released the game. Because I reckon people were just getting shot from Narnia and then quitting the game and then never playing again. You know, you need to be able to read a Battlefield game. You know? Will the classic BF gameplay be entertaining enough to stream it? Honestly, put me, Jack, Wesley, and Stodd in a squad together, we'll go all day, mate. You know? You give those boys there, you know, you give those boys there a good Battlefield game, and me, we'll all be there. We'll be having the time of our lives. I think they're releasing a BR as well. You know, I would be astonished that if you are Battlefield and you have 128 player capable servers and 128 player capable video game engines, that you wouldn't release a BR. I think there's a Battlefield BR coming, 100%. I'd be willing to bet the kitchen sink on it. You know, a modern Battlefield Royale with destruction, the only BR with destruction. I mean, come on, you're laughing. You know, you'll be funneling in players left, right, and center. you know, a map like this, you know, a Call of Duty Vondel style map, but bigger, you know, a big city map like Verdansk, but with destruction. I mean, come on. Come on. That's it. It's GG. That's it. You know, you're not... No other BR is competing with you at that point.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
So what do people hate about BRs? Camping. What do people hate about BRs? Boring mid-game. How do you finish those problems? A game where I can literally blow up a whole wall if I need to. Exclamation mark specs, catch you reloading. Yeah, vehicles could be a big thing as well. Like, I mean, especially, you don't even need to necessarily have, like, tanks and stuff, but, like, transport vehicles, helicopters, you know, buggies, all sorts, you know. The next Battlefield is going to be a big one. It's going to be next year. You know, if they can actually release the game in a good state with teams working on live service properly, I honestly think they would dominate the space. Because people are so bored of COD, and they're so bored of all these other games right now. They want something. They're practically begging for something new. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're practically pleading for something new to release that they can try and just play casually with their friends of an evening and not have to think too much. You know, they can just run around with their boys and have a ball day. You know, like... It's a good place for me to practice some skill.
New zones online. Your squad mate is redeploying. Well done.
Cover deployed.
We control Foxtrot.
He's just been hit by like a
Reinforcements inbound.
4th of July like flare, bro. Like what?
Dropping ammo.
We control Delta. The enemy's attacking Delta. The enemy's attacking Delta.
Well, you just lock down points like it's
We
hardcore.
control
Like,
Alpha.
I feel like I get it.
Your squad mate's back on station.
Yeah, I mean the industry's crying out for competition. It's begging for it. It really is.
We have the zone. Defend it. Enemy soldier incoming.
And when it does come, and when Battlefield does release a new game, and if they release a good game,
We're attacking
I
Alpha.
rection
We
people will be
control
all
Golf.
over it. I'll be very
We control
honest.
Alpha. The enemy's contesting
Destroying
Alpha. We control
You know, this is a very interesting mode.
We control Alpha. High value zone.
Because, like,
Security
I get
on
it.
additional
You know what I
points.
mean?
We secured the lead. Enemies have your location now. The enemy's contesting Alpha.
Like, this is actually very slyly a really good way to
Section coming.
introduce players to mechanics that they otherwise wouldn't encounter.
Enemies attacking.
Sorry, have I just been sniped?
Zone contested. We have the zone. Defend it. Heads up.
happened
Enemies
there?
in the zone.
I'd like to see the first kill. Oh wow, he actually did snipe me. Fair play to him. FPSs are in a disgusting state at the minute. I honestly feel the same way. Don't get me wrong. I like Warzone 2, but when X-Defiant releases, you're going to see me playing a lot. And I don't even care that much for 6v6 arena shooters, but I'm just, you know, I want to try something different so much at this point that, like, I will play anything.
Get them secure.
Oh, they're new zones now, yeah?
New zones coming online. Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Your squad mate. Well done.
Did something quite interesting there.
New zones are ready for capture. We control Gulf.
This is a curious game mode. I don't know if I like it, but I'm not upset with it.
Control Echo.
Took a round.
We control
Straight
Echo.
down.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Dropped an ammo box. Load up. Harder here.
This is a nice warm-up, yeah. It's a good mode for trying out loadouts. You know, there's something to be said about Call of Duty trying more of these modes. Like, I've always thought a capture the flag style mode
Control the zone.
would be decent for COD.
High value zone located.
High value zone, get me over there. Mamma mia. I'd say I'm fairly confident I could throw a frisbee at that guy and he would have died.
We control Echo.
It's like a weird
Enemy dropping into the AO.
battle maps Call of Duty hybrid, isn't it? No, there probably isn't any SPMM in this mode at all.
We control Echo.
You would be correct on that front. Gosh, incendiary rounds.
Zones are relocating soon. We control the zone. We control Echo.
Wow.
Have the zone.
Through the smoke.
Defended. Zone secure. We hold the zone.
Ouchie.
Two zones identified. Lock them down.
I never really played Armored Royale. Wow, that laser really gave me away. Prop hunt BR. I mean, you say it, but this is the thing. Why not do those kinds of things? You know, those kinds of LTMs would be a good laugh, I think. You know, I honestly think they'd be good. You know? Like, why not, right?
Getting
Like,
another chance.
Zero
Make it
Gravity
count.
VR, I remember that one quite fondly. That was pretty good.
Zones are online.
Friendly airstrike in the AO.
Echo is compromised. Hostiles dropping into the area. Watch the sky. Control Echo.
Tried in a little 360. Don't you feel like it's a little too late for Battlefield to jump into the BR train? Not really, no. They are the largest shooters on the planet, and they probably always will be. I don't think extraction shooters are as popular as people
Get
think
ready.
they are.
You're redeploying.
I think the extraction
Left
shooter trend,
reinforcements inbound.
we haven't actually seen a lot of extraction shooters done by AAA studios, nor have we seen ones done on console, really. DMZ is probably, dare I say it, one of the few examples, right? Oh dear.
We control Delta.
That's not gone well. So, I don't think extraction shooters are really all that important. I think BRs will be. They had a BR7. So the interesting thing about Battlefield 5's Battle Royale is that they released it and then they stopped supporting it instantly. So that wasn't really the fault of the BR. The BR itself was actually very promising.
We
It's
control
just
Delta.
management. Whoever was managing the overseeing of the game at the time.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
Where have I just been melted from? Besides, to be honest with you, I don't think Firestorm ever really made sense as a BR anyway, because modern Battle Royales are what makes it interesting.
Movement. Victory is close.
Move in here.
15 seconds left.
It's a curious mode.
Time for redeployment.
I mean, I don't think I'd ever play this, like, regularly, but, like,
We're contesting the
something,
zone.
right? You know? Nice way to test out some guns, I
Objective
guess.
Locations updated. Secure the new zone. Enemy soldier incoming.
I could probably win this with just throwing knives, if I'm being honest.
New zones coming online. You have reinforcements inbound. Your squad mate is deploying. Well done. We control Charlie. Hostiles dropping into the area. Watch the side. We control Charlie. We control Charlie. We control Charlie.
Friendly airstrike on the way.
Good work. Mission accomplished. All targets eliminated.
Just give me throwing knives. Don't need anything else. I'll just run around with those. Just kill him with, yeah, just a throwing knife, mate. Just kill the other guy with, yeah, just a throwing knife, mate. Kill the guy after that with, yeah, throwing knife. What the hell is that? Can do everything better. Okay. I mean, I'll take it. It's an interesting mode. I don't know if I'd play it regularly, but like, you know, it's not I don't think it was bad. It wasn't, you know, mind-blowing. I mean, I think it's a nice mid-ground of multiplayer and BR. Like, if you're somebody who likes multiplayer modes, but, you know. When are you back on the World Series of Warzone prep? Well, this is the thing, right? Like, I kind of need to get into Crimson, ideally, like, tomorrow or the day after. Just so I can, you know, actually practice with the lads. But to be honest with you, we don't play till the 17th, so we've still got like 14 days, 2 weeks to be exact. So we will want to get into the rhythm of things again soon, but really ranked is the only way we can practice. You know? Like, there aren't really any custom tournaments. The ones that do end up running only end up having like 100 people in it. But it's a bit of an awkward one. Like, it's not, I don't know, it's not an ideal situation to prepare for, I'll tell you that much. On Broken and Spratting and Crim, I don't think they're really all that interested in ranked.
Check your gear and weapons. We go soon.
I think with ranked, you just sort of have to mentally be prepared that the day is going to be a slog from start to finish. I don't know, I'll message the chat tomorrow and see if Broken's down for some rank, because I need to get to Crim.
Enemy soldier incoming.
I'll be honest with you, like, the more I've been getting ready for the World Series of Warzone, as much as Codcaster and stuff like that is great, the more it's become inherently apparent to me how far away from any kind of competitive readiness that this game is at. Like, servers alone are reason enough. The way the guns are working right now, like, the cheating situation. I know they did a new blog about cheaters. I'm making a video on this tomorrow, by the way. That new blog about cheaters meant absolutely nothing. It meant absolutely nothing. Like, the game is still festered with them on ranked in multiplayer and on ranked in Warzone. They're not doing enough on the anti-cheat side of things. You know, and to me, like, you know, I know obviously I can't confirm that somebody's 100% cheating 100% of the time, but I feel like I see more blatant cheaters than some of these folks who work at Ricochet. I see so many of them. So many of them who are obviously using some kind of walls or, you know,
Enemy soldier incoming.
obviously, you know, just not natural players. The one I find the most interesting, and this is the one that really annoys me. So many of you know that there's a helicopter cheat. You've probably seen it in nuke runs and stuff like that. You can fly a helicopter 5,000 bajillion meters into the sky if you're using a certain cheat. And they do it to get easy nukes. Well, that's how they've been using it. In my mind, if I'm an anti-cheat developer, if altitude goes above X, right? If you are any higher than the plane at the start of the game, that's it. Insta-ban. Like, that's it. Like, there's no room for debate there. That's, you know. At that point, if somebody's managed to achieve a skybox level of height, they should be able to enter a value into Ricochet that goes, if they reach this level on the X-axis, that's it. Line of code, bang, instant ban. Because they know it's a cheat. They know it's an existing cheat. They know people are using it for those purposes. And I think that's what makes me really disheartened about Ricochet, is that, to me, I know it's not simple. I know it doesn't sound as simple as a line of code, but you are just giving an existing anti-cheat a new set of instructions. And you should be able to, with an anti-cheat, which, bearing in mind, is running on your own engine. You know, it's not some proprietary engine. This is an Unreal Engine. You should be able to tell it, if they go above 2,000 meters, bang, instant ban. Job done. You know? Or at least instantly shadow ban them until you can confirm whether it's a hack or a glitch, right? You know? But if you see them in a helicopter and they go above, if helicopter plus more than 2,000 meters altitude equal ban, you know, that's me using some of my logic degree, not a coding degree, but you know. If X, do Y. You know, that's a fairly straightforward thing, I'd like to think. And if it isn't a straightforward thing, then it should be. Because that cheat's been around now since Season 2. People have been hacking their way into the skybox since Season 2. So the fact that all of those players haven't just been instantaneously banned. Or like people who found ways to cheat their way into certain skins, or like... it's, you know, it's just stuff like that.
Our mortar strike is inbound.
I don't think Ricochet is doing a very good job. I think at the surface level is capable of detecting obvious aimbots. I think it's capable of detecting people who are obviously aimbotting and capable of banning those players. I don't think it's got anything useful for wall hackers. Hopefully this new hologram system can maybe change that. That actually looks like a very intelligent system. But it's just on the whole, like, I'm not very hopeful about how Ricochet works. You know, like, hardware ban, IP bans, do all of it. Random two-factor authentication checks, make them have phone numbers at random. You know, it's just stuff like that to me. It's just, you know, if you think you've got a sus player. I think the reason that Ricochet upsets me the most is that if you look at the way Fortnite handles cheaters, they're very good at it. And it's their own engine. It's their own engine. And they know how to use their own engine to make sure nobody can cheat. And then you look at Call of Duty and it's like, hold up, guys. This is your proprietary IWA engine. No other game developer uses your engine. No other, you know, company rents out your engine. This is something that you have made from the ground up. You know? You should be able to be all over cheaters in this. All over it, I tell you. So yeah, I mean, you know, I watched Jack's video on the blog. I'm going to be making my own video. Just obviously I was away at the time. I don't think anything they've said about Ricochet so far is really not even worthy of merit, but worthy of any positive discussion. Because there's nothing positive to say about Ricochet. It's not doing a good job. You know, you just need to you need to play one game of multiplayer ranked for 5 minutes. You'll run into 10 cheaters. I'm not even joking. I don't think I've ever seen more cheaters in a multiplayer ranked than I have in Call of Duty. You know? And that's saying something. Like, I've played CSGO when there were cheaters. I played H1Z1 when there were cheaters. I played, you know, games that have been far more infested in the past than you've probably ever seen before, but none of them, and I mean none of them, were ever as bad as what I've seen in Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer rank. That right there is the worst I've ever seen an anti-cheat before.
dropping into the AO.
Lui, non, c'est pas possible. Quoi?
Gas is moving.
It's not him trying to KV broadside you. Explosive slugs. You absolute heathen. What are we playing at with this? Oh, I feel bad about that one. I mean, I do and I don't, but
Hostile UAV in the area.
yeah, I mean, I don't pay for any of my blueprints anymore. Like, I honestly would recommend that if you're not happy about the state of COD, don't buy anything. Vote with your wallet. You know, it's not perfect. I'm not saying you're going to change the world overnight, but like, it's better than giving them cash for doing terrible jobs. I'm just picking up some random guns here. These aren't my guns, but... What's up? Oh my Christ.
This one's bleeding.
Has this random bat that I've ran into just discovered something utterly brutal? He has, hasn't he? How do you get explosive slugs? I swear that you can only have slugs or explosives, not both. Is this like a special gun? Like...
Fire sale adapted. Fire station are adjusted.
What tomfoolery is this?
Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy UAV active.
I feel like I've never seen the word explosive slugs before, because this
Hostile
isn't,
UAV in the area.
in any phrase of mine, an acceptable weapon.
Resurgence is about to end. Make it count.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Normal slugs are more consistent?
Adjusting price.
Are they? I mean, I feel like whatever build this guy's got rocking here is
Enemy soldier incoming.
low-key kind of unreal, like
Enemy
possibly
UAV
better than
active.
fire rounds. Obviously, you need to actually hit your shots, but, you know, maybe didn't do that part right.
Moving here.
Got gas moving in. You're back on station. Get after it.
Oh God, you
So weak, how?
Listen here, Mackie G, mate. The only thing weak there was your aim. Oh my word. You got pissed on a crazy one.
Need rockets.
Resurgence has been deactivated. This is the end game.
I really went through my playlists recently on Spotify. I really cleaned them up a bit. I feel like that was quite good for the soul.
Dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Sorry, has that guy just been... I wouldn't be happy. You know? It's not that I'd be fuming. Did
Ah,
you...
la tête de baril était flash.
Did you think I was gonna fall for you flashbanging? How shit do you think I am? He definitely just called me a cheater in French, by the way.
Gas is closing in.
What, did he think he could just throw a flashbang and that's it? I'd be bamboozled. I'd have a panic attack or something. What do you take me for? What do you take me for? Why do I keep running into custom tag 56? Do be seeing a lot of these recently. Hey guys, I'm gonna have to explosively slug it out. Get it? Huh? Get it? Slugs? Huh? Okay. That's...
Need shotgun shells.
Not very good decorum from you, is it?
10 are left. Keep the pressure on.
I mean, I'm not in a good spot, but I'm not in a bad spot. I'm in the neutral zone.
You're losing ground.
I'm like a male friend. See? Get it? It's a societal joke I'm bannering. I'm like Switzerland. I mean, it sounded like war above me, but, you know, I don't really need to get involved. Like Switzerland. You know? Got any nudies here? Sports. Destinations. Money. Whatever this is. Satin and silk. Interesting tales. God forbid you actually have a right one, because good lord, if your campaign's been bad recently. Have you heard of the Muffin Man? Got a really stupid idea here, but oh well. Sometimes you just gotta roll it, right? I live in this segment. Somewhat of a local legend, really. No! Oh dear.
We lost that one, but
So
we'll come
close
back
to
stronger
success.
next time.
He's lived, just barely. Because I've allowed him to. I was too interested in the sports magazine. It was my fault, really. Now, the question is, was I mass reported in that last game? And is the answer yes? Because it feels like it. Oof. Yeah, I was away for a bit. I did a mini sort of travel, if you will. Bonus of being inside Europe is that everything is fairly inexpensive. I mean, I didn't even book a hotel until the night I got to Barcelona. I was like, yeah, sure, there'll be one. There'll be one somewhere cheap. I was right. I was right. That's a nice looking skin. I will give them that. Mini retirement, yeah. Mini retirement. That's the Gary Neville, if you will. I've gone on a mini retirement.
Enemy dropping into the AO. Holding for deployment. Takes its time to warm up.
Oh, wait, no, I've got a teammate. Not what I wanted.
Enemy soldier incoming. Training is over. Time to see what you have learned.
I do like the SPX. It is a very quick gun. I feel quite at home with it already, to be honest. What other real-life cities would be good inspiration for a map? I mean, cities are quite difficult to do.
Survive if your team can eliminate targets to bring
I don't know, really. It's a hard question. I mean, the rumor is that the new one's going to be Mexico, right? Or sort of that kind of area. I think that's a really good idea. I've always felt like, you know, Brazil kind of, you know, the favela map from Modern Warfare 2 was always a really smart idea. I got on the I got on a bullet train actually. I haven't done a lot of high-speed trains, so I was curious about it. I got on a bullet train from Madrid to Barcelona. They're not very close, technically, but it was only 2.5 hours, or 2 and a bit hours, like 2 hours 15 minutes. Great experience. Would recommend. Lovely air-conditioned train, lots of nice views. It was like being in a first-class flight, really. Chairs were comfortable. Chargers. It's great. Would recommend. What a grand old time.
Enemy UAV active.
Buy station here.
See if I can mark the buy station. This guy will figure out that we should go buy our guns.
Fog is lifting. Watch for enemy movement.
Buy station here.
I mean, high-speed rail really is just the future. It should just be everywhere, really. Like going at like 300-something kilometers an hour.
UAV in the area. Enemy UAV overhead.
It's wonderful.
Enemy UAV active.
Loadout drop headed your way.
Friendly UAV
We
on
got a
station.
UAV as well.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Not really. Just wait 10 years and you'll be able to knock 15 minutes off your trip to Birmingham. Oh dear. Yeah, the UK is not quite in the same realm of what I was thinking about. More like, you know, Japan. Kind of what I was thinking about. Some of the rooms in this game are way too dark. Yeah, just get out of there. Get out of there, Bob Teddy. Like that room there, I could not see that guy by the time I started shooting. It's almost worth me not shooting back at it.
Go get your revenge.
I mean, I could just go and chalk them from the top, really. I mean, kind of an all or nothing approach here. I mean, why not, right? They're already fighting. Hehehe.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
Hey, where's my shit? Oh, somebody actually really did try to
Friendly
pillage me.
loadout drop on the way.
I'll do.
Enemy UAV active.
Sorted that one. Taking effective fire.
Nobody wants to go to Birmingham. I mean, you're not wrong. I will be honest, having been Birmingham on numerous occasions, I've never thought, yeah, I'd stick around here. It's definitely up there with, well, just places I wouldn't stay. I mean, it's a polite way of putting it, I guess. I mean, I'm sure there are nice parts of Birmingham somewhere. Maybe. Big asterisk on the maybe.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Just a bit of a shithole, really. I mean, I'm kidding. Leicester was definitely worse. Leicester is without a doubt the worst place in the UK I've been, and I've been to Slough. All right, Leicester was not the one. Oh my word! I think the tallest building in Leicester was a Premier Inn.
Enemy UAV overhead.
I'd say that the nice cities I've been to in the UK are definitely, obviously London Central. It's fairly nice. West London's quite nice too. I'd say, Norwich, definitely. Edinburgh, definitely. Liverpool, 100%. There are some really nice parts of Liverpool.
Enemy UAV active.
Throwing Semtex.
Where else? York is quite nice, yeah, I've been to York. I can't say I've been to Derby. I did like Nottingham, though. I was a fan of Nottingham.
Gas is moving.
Someone get me to Hounslow. No, I'm just... Oh dear. I quite like Wales. Yeah, Wales is nice. It's not, you know, it's not nice.
Your team has
I'd stay here
entered-
forever, but it's all right. It's all right. I'll tell you where is the biggest scam in the United Kingdom though, and that is Kent. Oh my God, what a scam! Kent, truly, I'm convinced Kent is some sort of psyop. I'm convinced that Kent is some sort of, like, undercover operation.
25 remaining.
Wow, he got wiped.
25 remained. You fought hard.
How was Coventry?
Space for debrief.
I think I'd rather sleep in a park, if I'm being perfectly honest. I can't believe my teammate lost that. I'm convinced Kent is some sort of psyop. Like, I think it's some sort of, like, fairy tale lie that they tell people. Like, yeah, this is a nice place. No, it isn't, mate. You've just got a couple of fields. Like, it's not... you know, it's just... I'm convinced Kent exists so that if people from France came through to Kent, their first thing would be, I'm going back. Ah, fuck that. See you later. What do you mean this is England? See you later. That's awful. It's a bit like Calais, right? If you've ever been to Calais, Calais is a dump in France. And I am convinced that Calais exists, much like Kent, so that when people go across the tunnel or go across the channel, they go, well, this is a shit. I'll see you later. I'm going straight back home. Adios. I'm telling you, it's a psychological experiment. How can we make people feel unwelcome? Show them Kent. It's the same in Calais in France. How can we make people, you know, how can we make people in France, how can we make British people not want to come to France? Yeah, just go to Calais, mate. Spend 5 minutes there. You never want to stay in France again. This is the build, by the way. The Schlager match grip on the back. I'm telling you, that's the way to do it, right? Don't want French people in the UK? Don't do Brexit. Just show them Kent for 5 minutes. They'll never think about coming back. The French have done the same thing. I'm telling you, Calais exists as a warning to not come to France. I'll be honest with you. I do apologize if there are any French people watching. I find France insufferable. I really do. Like, you know, I think France genuinely has the... I've been to Germany, and I think France is the least friendly people in the country. In the world, possibly. You know, like... I've never once stepped foot in France, right, and felt welcome. And I'm a very polite tourist. I'm not even like a tourist per se. I don't stop randomly in the middle of the street. I don't, you know, I don't clog up your railways. I get an Uber if I can. You know, I've been to France. I've been to Lyon. Yeah, I've been to Paris. I've been to what's that place in the south? Forget. I've never once felt welcome in France. Like, people just generally feel quite rude, if I'm being honest. The day in the life is a true Brexit geezer. the young French folks seem alright. I'd say, you know, Germany and France are two of the least friendly places I've been. City Germany, rural Germany is a lot nicer, and I'm sure the same is to be said about France. You know, the less Paris, the nicer they are. You know, the less Berlin, the nicer they are. It's the word about Oxford. Oxford's lovely. Oxford's a really nice place. I do prefer Cambridge, personally, over to Oxford, in terms of, like, location. But Oxford's a nice place. Have I been to Norway? I haven't been to Norway, no. I've only ever been to Sweden. I did like Sweden, though. I actually quite like Sweden. Sweden definitely is the kind of place where if you know, if you collapsed in the middle of the street, they wouldn't give a shit. But, I don't know, everybody just sort of minds their own business in a very polite way in Sweden. I've been living in Berlin for 10 years as a Dutchie, can confirm. Maybe it's because I've been in Portugal now and I've been to Spain. Portugal and Spain are very welcoming countries. Very welcoming country. They don't give a shit where you are, like, for the most part, you know? But, you know, I'd say Germany and France are definitely the least welcoming places. And I don't even do the tourist thing where I try to butcher their language. You know, I will just say, I'm sorry, I don't, you know, I don't speak the language. You know, I'm just passing through. You know, that's the one thing I can't stand about tourists is, like, I understand you're trying to be polite, right? But nobody wants to hear you butcher the intro sequence to ordering a meal 4 times over. Just tell them what you want, all right? I'd say public transport mostly in Europe is incredible. I mean, like, you know, Portugal has its fair share of strikes, but, you know, they've got okay rail trains. Between Lisbon and Porto is pretty good. They've got bullet trains for those. But everything else is, like, you know, they've got metro, they've got trams, they've got buses. Spain is a very well-connected country. To be fair, most of, like, France, Germany, Spain, and most of Northern Europe is extremely well-connected by train.
All bounty
I mean,
targets are down. Well done.
I think I was on a train once from Cologne to Paris. And I nearly fell asleep on the train and nearly woke up in Paris. I was supposed to go to Dusseldorf.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Do you know what I will say? And this is the one thing that I will say. And this isn't... I don't mean to sound like a knob. Although I probably will. I will say... I have been pleasantly surprised by a lot of the American tourists I've ran into recently. The general conception of American tourists in Europe is that they are all going to inevitably be knobheads. And the same can be said for the British. We have that stereotype as well. I'll tell you what, mate. Some of these American tourists, they're well lovely. They're so nice. They're so polite. I've run into quite a few recently. I mean, I think a lot of them are just like quite happy to bump into somebody who speaks English. But you know, I've run into quite a few polite fair share recently. You guys you're really marketing yourselves well, you know what I mean? I think the UK as a whole is quite a welcoming country in terms of generally. London maybe less so. I'd say pretty much everywhere but London is fairly friendly. London is very much, why are you talking to me? Leave me the fuck alone. And you know, as a Londoner, I agree with that. Leave me alone. I'm not trying to chat to you on the train, bro. I'm trying to have my headphones in. I'm trying to get to where I need to be. You'll never need to speak to me again. Wow, I cannot believe surely you had full damage. No? Wow. I feel like I died really quickly, though. UK is great till 5 p.m. Listen, London at 5 p.m., right? Let me explain. London at 5 p.m. is a collective of people who absolutely hate their jobs. Every single one of them. And if they say that they don't, they're lying. It's all the finance lads, the accountants, the lawyers, the office job recruiters, they are the office cubicle folks. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, some people like their jobs, right? But London especially, these are people who have commuted potentially up to an hour and a half, 2 hours to sit in a shitty little cubicle in the middle of a London office because their dickhead boss thinks that working from home is a bad idea. And the only resurgence they have to blow off steam is to go down to the pub 5 seconds away from their office and drink themselves into a coma. And they do that every time at 5 o'clock without fail, Monday to Friday. Friday's especially rowdy, but Monday to Friday they will be there. You know, it is a collective of finance lads who want to tell you about their hobbies because they are literally the same person copied and pasted over and over again. You know? You know what I mean? Like, look, I've been to those pubs. I have friends who work in those places. I've never once enjoyed it. you know, I've always sat there and I thought, fucking hell, you lot are boring. I've never sat with a more pretentious crowd of wankers than in a pub in London, central London, at 5 o'clock. Oh my word. I mean, you know, you would have to drop kick 20 people to find somebody who isn't a replica of someone else. And they've all got their little, you know, sweater vests and their shirts and like, oh mate, it's abhorrent. It's absolutely abhorrent. Now, like, don't get me wrong. I understand the idea of going for a pint after work with the lads. Like, I get that. I'd do that maybe once a week. If I was working a regular job, I'd probably do that once a week. You know? But when it's a bi-nightly thing, just go home. Get some hobbies. Have some friends outside work. You know? Like... Because there's two demographics, right? There's two demographics of London pub goer, right? Finance lads, right? You've got the under 30s who are accepting that their lives are no longer university and want nothing more than to shag their co-workers. And then you've got the over 30s who've had kids, realize they don't actually quite like them and don't want to go home. And then you've got the sort of... Do you know what the weirdest demographic of London drinker is? It's the 40s to 50s guys. Because they've already accepted their fate. They already know what the situation is. They're actually a lot more tolerable than the rest of them. You know?
Enough training. Now we face the enemy for real.
I've had more interesting conversations with lads who are like 45, 50 than some geezer who's 26 and talks about his mad time at Durham. Like, I don't care. You know, that is the three categories of London drinker. You know, that is truly it. You've got the post-uni, the I'm about to become a dad, or I've just become a dad and I don't like it. And then you've got the seasoned veteran who's just there because he wants to be. You know? And that's just the bro category. We haven't even spoken about London women yet. London women, I tell you, they're geniuses. Because I'm telling you here and now, 90% of them don't care what you're saying. They are just going to smile and nod. Oh, you're getting the next round? Brilliant. Cheers. Yeah, great. Oh, you've got the company car? London women don't give a shite, mate. They're just there because they're bored. That's just...
Requesting close air target mark. Requesting recon flyover.
Oh, Ben from Accounts is getting the next round. Great. Amazing. What a surprise.
Shot Smith, no joy.
Oh yeah, I am interested in your model train business. No, I'm not. Do you know, it's the one resilient part of the United Kingdom, though. We could be in a global panini, a recession, you know, really anything. You know, there could be bombs flying overhead. There will still be people in those parts. As a Ben from Accounts, that hurts. I don't know. I feel like I'm not really a conventional worker because I don't have a conventional job. You know, I've accepted that. But I also, and this is going to sound a very strange thing to say, like, if I work with you, there is a 70% likelihood that I don't like you. A 70% chance that I think you're a bellend, right? And that's not your fault. It's just the reality of the situation we're in. Okay? Like, if I have to work with you on a day-to-day basis, there is a very large percentile chance that at some point or another, you are going to annoy me. Or piss me off. One of the two. you know, so the last thing I want to do is spend the precious hours of my evening thinking about what you're up to on a Saturday, lad. Like, you know, like, if you're at the 30%, then I'll spend all day with you, no problem. We are officially pals. We are boys in the hood. All right, we will get through the tough times together. But, you know,
Enemy UAV active.
I don't hate work nights out. I don't mind them, but I'm not being paid to be your friend. You know, let me make that explicitly clear. If I want to go home at 5, right?
Into the AO.
I'm going home at 5, right? I'm not, just because you've whipped out the company card and you've offered me a cheap evening doesn't mean I'm entitled or inclined to stay. Like, that is the one part of, like, office drinking culture that doesn't get talked about. Like, I get paid to show up and go home and no in between. Alright? That is the rule of land. Right? Just because you're mates with Dean, right, who thinks that your kid is super cute and interesting, doesn't mean he should get a promotion. Okay? I will murder your friend before I let you perish. We need to normalize, right? People who go to work think you're all a bunch of wankers and want to go home. You know, nobody wants to go to work, all right? I'm not your family friend, all right? I'm not your buddy, your pal, you know? Like,
Failure is a wise teacher.
Enemy visual.
wow, that's he really wanted that kill. Follow me the whole way through. Like, we need to normalize. I'm here till 9 to 5. From 9 till 5, I don't care who you are. All right. As of 5 o'clock, when I clock out, I want to hear from you. I don't want to see your face. You know. Like, we need to entirely normalize the concept of I'm paid to be here. I don't want to be here, and when I get to go home, I'm going home. You know? I think, do you know what? I think that is the YouTuber in me, because whenever I talk to companies, it's like, we want you to do X. And it's like, yeah, but X is going to take me 3 hours, so you're going to have to pay me for those 3 hours. If I went back to a regular office job, I'd be in HR within a week. I'm telling you, within a week. Because if somebody calls me at 5:01, I'm telling them to go away. See you later. Bye. Who are you? Am I being paid overtime? No, see you later. Bye. Adios, pal. If I have to ever go back into a regular office job, I'm going to get regularly called into a HR office for calling somebody a bellend on a weekly basis.
Use this time to practice. We will be deploying soon. Hostiles dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Maybe that's why the YouTube life suits me. Maybe that's why I'm so determined to let it succeed. You know? Become a channel member today so I don't have to be dragged through HR memes.
Enemy soldier incoming. Preparation is done.
Have some
Now you
knives.
deploy to the war zone.
Get ready to jump. 5 seconds.
Stay alive to keep your squad in the fight. Set a drone
I'm literally a YouTuber to avoid 9 to 5. If you work a 9 to 5, I respect you. You know, I'm not here to say, how dare you, idiot. You know, I'm not, you know, you are, you know, very much the life soul of the general economy. It's just not for me because
UAV overhead.
I just know I wouldn't, you know. I don't have any clinical diagnoses for anything, and I don't think antisocial is quite a clinical diagnosis, but... And if you are here right now, and you are watching this stream while working, you've cracked the code.
Enemy
Good job.
UAV active.
You enjoy some damn leisure whilst you work.
Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy UAV active. Hostile UAV in the area.
When I'm done with YouTube, I've already got the plan. I'm going to become an IT person. I'm going to become an IT person because I'm going to pretend to know what I'm doing. And I'm going to get somebody to pay me lots of money for doing basically nothing. That's the plan. I need something with fast hands and...
An enemy squad is hunting you. Stay alert.
The IEMs have been treating me quite well, to be honest with you.
Expect increased visibility. Deployable buy station is available.
If you are here whilst working, good on you.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Good on you for enjoying some well-deserved time to watch a stream, you know? And if your boss has a problem with it, tell them that you're networking with me. I will lie to you in an email or DM, I promise. Not a problem. I've been handing out resume recommendations to friends left, right, and center since I've become a YouTuber. I don't even think they believe half of what I'm saying, but... Please stop shooting me. Oh my god, why are you so horny? Bro. No, it's Kaiser, of course. No wonder he's so bloody horny. He hasn't seen SR in months.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the sky. Time for vengeance. You redeploy.
I will gladly lie to your employer, don't you worry. That is not a problem. I have a friend who works in IT, and he runs like server maintenance for a building. He brings his console to work because most of the time he's doing nothing. Yeah, that's the way to go, really. And today for work, Dark Souls 3. Let's go, baby.
Enemy dropping
And
into
if I
the
shoot
AO.
this guy, he's just going to run around the corner and... Oh. But if he shoots me... It's a long day at the office for all participants. Is he using... Oh, he's using a heist. What is the world is this build? I'm going to throw a gas grenade up it just because, why not?
Friendly loadout drop on the way.
Oh my god, there's so many people.
We are returning you to the front. Earn this.
Tell you what, either work in IT or become a marketing manager. I am confident people who work in marketing 90% of the time have not a clue what they're talking about. If you've seen some of the emails I've been in, bloody hell. Don't get me wrong, lots of them are lovely and definitely know what they're doing. But there are a large percentile who have not a clue what's going on. You know, they're just there, you know, like, they are the NPCs.
Enemy dropping into the AO. Enemy bomb detonator reported in the area.
Oh, why have I been crossfire? Why me? Why are you guys... What, you not playing fucking 4-5-2 at the back? What's going on? Why have I just run into a team playing 4-4-2, bro? Like, what?
You're redeploying. online.
Got geezers out here playing a prime Pep Guardiola 5 at the back, trying to spread their defense.
Тут є мой босс.
Not all PP times are Papa times.
Hostiles dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Enemy precision airstrike. Find cover.
I don't think they truly appreciate how hard it was for me to hit fire the floor there. That guy even realized I was hit. I swear 90% of the people I've ran into are just like, oh, there's a guy.
Make it count.
No, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I did in my educational career. When YouTube's over for me, I'm going to weasel my way into a senior position with 0 experience. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, this guy sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Well done. Well, it was a good run.
Go get your revenge.
I'm gonna be the ideas guy that everybody hates. That's where I aim to be. That's how I look to thrive in civil society. I'm going to... Should I ego chow one of these guys for banner? I feel like I should. They don't seem very good. Oh dear, they've just had a whole team land on them, haven't they? And that's all of their friends showing up at the exact same time. Oh no. Oh no. I've made a mistake. Goodbye.
We lost that one, but we'll come back stronger next time.
Get hired by DICE as a... Do you know, I've done video game consulting before, and it actually was decent. I've done 3 bouts of video game consulting for different companies. All 3 of which have not been announced, so... NDA. Are you part of a non-disclosure agreement that wasn't your fault? Right, let's do solo duos again. I feel like that was working better for us than solo quads. Solo quads at this time, probably not. You know, solo quads in the middle of the day or early morning. Yeah, I mean, you know, it'd probably be fairly easily. What's your thoughts on BattleBit? You know what, right? BattleBit is not a great game. Okay? Like, it's not. You know? It is a run-of-the-mill generic shooter with some cool bits to it. But it does everything right. You know? That's... If you've ever wanted more of an indication as to where the gaming industry is right now, is the fact that BattleBit, which, again, no offense to the dev team, is not a very great game or an impressive game. You know, it just works. The hit reg works. The servers work. The gameplay works. People get banned. You know, there's plenty of guns to level up. There's plenty of things to play. You could just hop in and play. You can hop out and not play. It just works.
Take this time to warm up.
It's such a simple thing. It just works. BattleBit just works, and that is why people are enjoying it. There's no random bullshit to deal with. It just, you know, it just works. It runs well. It's optimized. You know, there are loads of servers that you can choose from. It doesn't have weird, random, skill-based matchmaking. You could just jump in, play,
Hostile dropping into
do a
the
little bit
area.
of VoIP if
Watch
you
the
fancy
skies.
it, and be on your merry way. And that is the game. Does it have longevity? Probably not. Are you going to see people playing it in, you know, 6 months' time? Probably not. Does it work for now, and are people going to enjoy it? Probably yes.
Warm-up is over. Stand by for deployment to the war zone. Enemy
You know,
dropping
if
into the
it
AO.
is the most... BattleBit is IKEA furniture. It just works, you know. It just works, and it was fairly reasonably priced. What more else is there to say? You know?
Survive to redeploy fallen teammates. Kill to bring them back faster. Mark a drop point for your squad. Switch them in.
You know, I know lots of content creators are jumping on the BattleBit hype, and I'm sure they are having fun with it. For me, I don't think it's that incredible a game. Like, I think it's a good ride, but it's not something I'm playing loads. But I think it really is the biggest indication of how much the FPS space is not in a good spot. Like,
Enemy soldier
the
incoming.
FPS space is in a really bad spot because the only good games to play right now are games that, honestly, no offense to them again, it's nothing mind-blowing, it's nothing incredible. It just is. It just works. If you can have some fun, you can play with friends. You know, it's not a unique experience by any stretch of the imagination either.
Fight. Visibility is increasing.
Good for them though. Like, you know, I'm glad they're getting some traction out of it for making something. Because, you know, it's not like they're charging an arm and a leg for it.
Enemy UAV
You know, they're
active.
charging, what was it, like £16? Something like that. Fair play to them. You know, that's a good game for £16.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Be advised. Enemy operators are tracking your location.
UAV overhead.
Sorry, boys, I'm on somewhat of a roll. 40,000 something players, that's impressive. It is, yeah. I mean, it is impressive. For a small team who've made a game that just works, you know, with however many players you want to play. And I'm sure modders and other stuff are going to have their fun with it as well in the future. Like, good job to them. Like, you know, it's a game that I personally don't get a huge amount of enjoyment out of, but I don't want it to not do well. Like, I think it's almost a testament, really, to the industry to just sort of say, hey, you know, if you guys stopped cacking around with trying to make the most groundbreaking features every 5 seconds that don't actually work and just made a half-decent shooter that just did the fundamentals well, you'd probably be all right, you know? You'd probably be making some pretty good sales. Man, doing duos is well easy.
Enemy UAV active.
Love me some
Hostile
duos.
UAV in the area. Hostile force strike in the area.
That's it. Focus on each other. Focus on each other. Why did you not finish him? You downed 2 guys. Why didn't you finish the other one?
Stand by for redeployment.
I think the FPS space right now is honestly quite stale, and like, you know, sometimes I I know our stream viewership and stuff has kind of not been great recently. I'm not saying it's been bad, but it's not, you know,
Loadout drop headed your way.
it's not near where we've been before.
Enemy soldier incoming.
And part of me is like, oh, maybe I'm doing something wrong. And then another part of me is like, nah, people are just bored, bro. Like, you know, people don't have anything to enjoy right now. There's nothing to kind of get behind. There's nothing to enjoy in the respect of a video game. And I think, like, you know, as a creator, one of the hard things is trying to make those experiences just organically, even if the game itself's a bit stale. It is a hard thing to do. I definitely will be getting on some DMZ with Westy and Stott at some point. Like, you know, I don't really enjoy DMZ personally, but I think we do just have a good laugh with it. And, you know, sometimes that's all you need in terms of a stream or a video or whatever. I think the space is just a bit deflated right now. There's just nothing out. Like, there's nothing... Oh, screw it, I'm going M4 for a round. I don't care. Just don't think there's anything of merit, really, around that people are kind of interested in playing. I think it's just sort of, here's what's out. Good luck to you, you know?
The gas is starting to split. Stay sharp down there.
Yeah, I think that's the good thing about DMZ, is that DMZ might not be the most enthralling experience, but you can just have some fun with it. Because I guess people don't take it super seriously to some extent. Like, people kind of play it as a casual experience anyway, so you can enjoy it as a casual experience.
Just
Sacre bleu. I think that's why people kind of enjoy Resurgence, to be honest with you. It's just, you don't necessarily have to take Resurgence super seriously. You can just... Oh god, please stop picking up ammo.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Are you ready to...
Location marked on your attack.
It was not my wisest set of gameplay.
You're being tracked by an enemy squad.
He knows I can see his shadow, right?
Enemy soldier incoming.
Enemy UAV active.
I might have to do DMZ as a riot shield main. I think that's the way to enjoy it. Do you know what?
Gas is closing in. The gas is shifting.
I think Mason Mount will be a decent player for Man United. I don't think he was worth the money they paid for him. I think the biggest flop will be Kai Havertz. I'm sorry, but you just can't justify the price tag. We've absolutely robbed Arsenal. He's had 3 seasons at Chelsea, and only one of them was any good.
Station. Recon online. Enemy UAV active.
And apparently he's on something silly like 300 grand a week. A player who, quite literally, and this isn't an imaginary statistic, we are talking about a player who has the most missed XG of any player in the Premier League. Do you know how bad you have to be to make that stat? Because it's not like the chances weren't there, you know, with XG. Those were goals that you were expected to put in the back of the net. And you averaged higher than everybody in the whole league, including 3 teams that got relegated. That takes a special something. I'm looking forward to football coming back. I mean, we're not even that far away anymore, are we? It's August normally, right? Mid-August, something like that. I'm looking forward to the NFL coming back. That's going to be the big one. God, that period of time when the NFL and the Premier League are running at the same time. Oh, what a time to be alive. What a time to have weekends.
Get ready. Resurgence window is about to close.
You finish watching the footy and bang, 6 PM on a Sunday. Here you go, lad. Here's some NFL to watch.
Requesting recon flyover.
Copy that. UAV online and orbiting the AO.
Fire sale active. Buy station prices have been reduced.
Nog één. Pas op. Schiet.
UAV is bingo fuel.
You evaded the enemy trackers. Good work. Enemy dropping into the AO.
Requesting recon.
Copy. UAV is on station. Recon on.
Requesting close air target marked.
Copy that.
Fire sale started. Prices are back to normal.
Hij staat rechts.
He made it to the stadium. Fair play to him.
Impact. No hits.
Feel real shame if I murdered him.
Be advised. UAV is exiting the AO.
Objective lost.
Bro, how am I alive?
Is no longer active. This is for keeps.
Yeah, I've been to a bunch of the NFL games in London. I'm actually going to the Falcons Jags game this year coming, this October. Hoping to get tickets to the other one. If you can't tell, I'm a Jags fan.
Requesting recon
Which, you know what?
flyover.
I will stand by proudly, because nobody can ever say that as an NFL fan I was a glory hunter. My team is shite, or at least they were. No one can ever call me a Patriots fan.
Active in the AO.
UAV is bingo fuel. RTB at this time.
Requesting airstrike at this
Be
location.
advised, the gas is merging. Prep for contact.
Enemy UAV overhead.
They have just walked into my airstrike, haven't they? Poor buggers. Probably didn't know a clue about it. Give me some utility to use. I mean, I know a lot of fans in the NFL have always sort of been like, well, no, we don't really like all these international games, blah, blah, blah. You know, some of the NFL teams in the States struggle selling out their stadiums. You know, if you are an NFL team in Europe, you're selling out every single time. Not even a question. You'll sell out. The NFL Germany game sold out in a minute and a half. A minute and a half. 1 minute. 90 seconds, guys. 90 seconds, those games were done. You couldn't get tickets. I had access to the Jags pre-sale. The pre-sale. And by the time the pre-sale was finished, most of the tickets were gone.
Target acquired. Strike inbound. Shots missed. No joy.
And I only had access to the pre-sale because I'm a registered Jags fan in the UK. You know, the reason I think the NFL is so interested in Europe is because every time they come here, they're sitting there rubbing their hands. They're thinking, bloody hell, we're selling like hotcakes. Sell out a 90,000 capacity Wembley Stadium, no problem.
X-ray marked. Request an airstrike at this location.
Copy. Longbow 3-1 on approach. Strike inbound.
Less than 25 were still jammed. Fought hard out there. Return to base for
Shouldn't have
debrief.
expected much else. Shouldn't have expected much else. Of course it got me through the building. Yeah, I would be mad about it, but I shouldn't be shocked. Good time to open the stream. Very good time to open the stream, Broken. Very good time. I would be upset about it, but I'm just used to it at this point. I don't think it's not worth being upset about it. You know? It's like, yes, I've closed this wooden door. That A10 airstrike is you know what really stops an A10 gun run? One wooden door. I will say this. I'm not regretting my decision to switch to IEMs instead of headphones. I like my headphones. You know, I've got great headphones, but I don't know. I mean, I wore earbuds for so long at uni, going to the library, going to the gym, blah, blah. It just feels natural.
Check weapons and gear. We're holding for deployment. Enemy soldier incoming.
Bloody hell. What did I study at uni? I did philosophy, politics, and economics. I dropped the economics though. So technically PP, not PPE.
Practice is over. The real fight begins now.
The first thing written in game chat, imagine using a shotgun by user step bro. What happens at the World Series practice? I need to get to Crimson on ranked. We will get back to it. The problem is that ranked isn't really good practice. But I suppose it's better than nothing.
Eliminate targets to bring them back faster. All right, soldier. Target drop point for your squad.
I should really message like Broken and someone else and just be like, hey, can we drag me to Crimson? Because I know Broken might be interested sometimes in rank. Definitely think Vondel is more of a vibe, but oh my gosh. Not me being chased to the floor. Maybe Sprat. I know Sprat's a bit of a, again, there's no sniping in ranked anymore, so it's not really
You're getting another chance.
I can see what, like I said, I can see why he wouldn't want to play it, if that makes sense, but like, you know, maybe he's interested every once in a while. I just need to get to Crimson so I can actually practice with the boys, because, you know, low-key that is kind of important. Putting a drill charge into somebody really is quite a brutal thing to do. Vondel is a good meme. Do you want to see if we can find a third tomorrow, Broken? See if we do a bit of ranked? I'd actually be down for that. I really need to get to Crimson.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
It's just a lot, like, it's a lot. I can see why everybody's playing Vondel, because it's just like you don't have to organize who's playing and when and where. Why not get an opportunity to self-res? He definitely didn't get enough bullets to finish me, right? Yeah, I just died instantly. It didn't give me a chance to self-res. You're on Battlefield tomorrow, new
To the
update.
front. Earn this.
So probably, like, Wednesday? I don't even know what day of the week it is, to be honest with you. I've been so busy. I will main Estrella if I have to. Get me back to Battlefield events. Get me back to Sweden with the lads, sitting in an office, playing some video games that haven't been released or announced. What a time.
Closing in. Hostile UAV in the area.
I can genuinely say there's never been a single Battlefield event that I didn't enjoy going to. Didn't enjoy going to. Except for the one where they released the content we recorded early and made the whole event kind of null and void, but
Enemy UAV active. Hostile UAV in the area.
call that a logistical problem. Man, I'm telling you, not playing games for a while and then going straight back to playing games on like a high-end setup is one of the most disorientating experiences. Because you go from I haven't seen a screen in like 2 days to I am seeing a screen in 4K. I can hear people all around me. God. Oh my word, it was so far behind the corner. Look at where he was still doing damage there. Bro, even on his kill cam, I was like 2 seconds behind the corner.
Enemy UAV overhead. Hostile UAV in the area.
The gas is starting to split. Stay sharp down there.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Where is everybody? I don't want to alarm anybody, but I haven't seen anybody shooting for a while. Not the back. The second I saw that guy wearing a black cell skin, I knew he was going to re-challenge me.
Go get your revenge.
Well, I would like to go get my revenge game, if you would so evidently allow me. I'll do it with a Mark II carbine, you don't think I will?
They hit us hard that time, but we will.
Goes up the zip line. Literally didn't even have audio on his kill cam for the first part of that. And then bang. Gone.
You've got gas moving
But
in.
guys, it's okay, because I heard the airstrike 700 meters away from me. That's what really mattered there, if you think about it. You know, what really mattered is that I heard that airstrike. And because I've heard that airstrike, you know, that's the important part. Nothing else was important. Mini BR solos. What have they done that for? So basically, this sniper can one-shot up until 50 meters. So it's actually like 48, but, you know, it's a really quick sniper. I mean, you could honestly, you know, if you wanted to get really dicey with it, which you can, you know, it's an option. You could probably drop down to the Luca Bandera. Or even the 3-point-something X and just be popping heads all day. I'm not normally a fan of variable zoom scopes, but the Bandera scope is a weird exception to that rule. Now, this one uses incendiary rounds. This is a weird sniper.
Enemy dropping into the AO. Check your gear and weapons. We go soon.
Evening tactical. Holy shit, I'm tired. Oh dear. Do you know what? I would like to do, I think, a throwback stream for some Battlefield. I'll be honest with you, we should really be doing more stuff like this, considering gaming generally is so goddamn boring.
Hostile dropping
I'll have to
into
send
the
a
area.
DM to the
Watch
boys.
skies.
I'll just do some Battlefield 5 or 1 or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, shit, I'll play some Fall Guys or some shit at this point. Like, anything. Someone please get me a new FPS.
Now you deploy to the
I'm
war
begging
zone.
you. COD, come on. It's nearly August and you haven't even announced your new game yet. What's going on? Gosh, you can really tell how tanned I am now.
5 seconds.
Pale, tan. Pale, tan.
Stay alive to keep your squad in the fight. Set a drop point for your squad, soldier.
Problem with the old Battlefield games is a lot of them aren't really safe to play, quote unquote, because a lot of them have like IP address vulnerabilities,
Enemy soldier incoming.
so we all have to like VPN and shit.
Hostile UAV.
Yeah, I've been thinking about not being randomly land on. Do you know what? It's one thing I would like to talk about. Why is there so much sound in COD? Like when you land in, there's noise. There are noises for everything. There are noises for challenges. There are noises for when you inhale after you've taken damage. I've been thinking about doing a few more evening streams during the week. So like, Saturday I'll probably still keep like a morning stream. But like, maybe like, you know, Tuesday, Thursday, I'll do evening streams instead of morning.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Be advised, there is an enemy squad hunting for you.
Just because, like, between it's kind of a combination of things. There are a lot of us streaming now in the morning. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, obviously, you know, I'm not going to be like, right, lads, you need to stop streaming. Bloody hell. But it definitely does actually low-key affect our viewership when all of us are streaming at the same time. I've been killed by this guy twice now. It's a Christmas miracle, really.
Time for vengeance. You're redeploying.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Pain.
Enemy UAV active.
But yeah, there's quite a lot of us streaming in the morning now, and like, I feel like I would probably get more viewership room to breathe streaming in the evening at this point. And I know some of the other guys have felt the same way. Like, there are, dare I say it, too many of us streaming in the morning. So I've been thinking about putting a couple of them in the evening.
Gas is moving.
Like, maybe just a handful, not like a huge amount. I still would like to finish most of my days at 5 o'clock, ideally.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Let's have
Enemy squad is trying to
UAV'd
position.
up, which means they're probably going to see me running at them. But don't. I've been finished off by his fire rounds. This guy has gotten me every time, and it's always random BS.
Time for redeployment.
So yeah, I've been thinking maybe like 2 streams a week might be in the evening, maybe 3. I'll have a think about it. I'll probably like drop a poll in the Discord. Yeah, the tourneys were good. I actually enjoyed doing it. But there just aren't enough of them, and like they're not. They're such a hassle to organize and be a part of, and like you have to fill out forms and it's just bleh. What I need to do really is I need to find some either UK or EU folks or like some American folks. I played with Smixy a couple of times. She's really nice. And play with them in the evening. You know, just do like 2 or 3. I just think right now, like, you know, I just think maybe it might be a good idea to do a handful, because I am realizing that a lot of you are watching from America. A lot of you. I think you guys make up 35% of my audience. So I'm fairly confident that you guys would appreciate a slightly later start. I know a lot of you are like early birds, so to speak, anyway.
I'll do what.
I mean, I could just murder his friend and make sure they don't come back.
The gas is starting to split. Stay sharp down there. Supply crates are restocked. Advise you load up now.
Yeah, it's like there are a lot of alerts for everything. Like, you know, there are sounds for gas closing in. There are sounds for this is happening. There's sounds for this. There's sounds for that. Like, the worst sound is when you're healing, and the game goes like, bro, I just want to hear what's going on around me. I don't need to hear the fact that my character is in hypothetical pain. Like,
Enemy UAV overhead.
you know what I mean? Did you just ask me to get a skill pill prescription? And if I was so inclined, no, you know, you'd be surprised how many people actually do that. For competitive games. Oh my word.
Dropping into the AO.
Enemy UAV
Ever
active.
seen somebody stare at a screen and not blink for like
Enemy
20
UAV
minutes?
overhead.
Yeah.
I want to know how I didn't survive that.
Gas is inbound. The gas is shifting.
Yeah, I only usually catch a stream from being up for the first part all night. Yeah, I've been thinking about it, man. Like, I really have. Just because, like, a lot of you guys are American. So technically, to me, like, you know, I've got... My YouTube platform tells me to stream in the evening. My actual dashboard physically says, bro, you need to be live at, like, 5 o'clock. Oh, that wasn't my smile. Oh, this guy again, bro?
Learn from the loss. Failure is a wise teacher.
This guy's a vendetta against me, I'm telling you. Well, Adderall became like really popular during university. Like, I remember people at my university selling the shit. Like, oh, you got some exams coming up? Here you go. But obviously, it's been hyper popularized in esports, and people don't talk about it. But like, I'm telling you, someday when some of these guys retire, people will realize just how much of a problem it is, because it's a lot worse than you guys think it is. Ever been to a LAN event for a comp game? Oi! All you've got is homies licking their lips and not blinking for 20 hours straight.
Training is over. Time to see what you have learned. Warm up while you
I
can.
mean, don't get me wrong, I will have like an energy drink before I play ranked sometimes. But, you know, caffeine kind of does it for me, you know, I don't need anything else. Hell, you guys saw me play on a beer before, whoosh. Sometimes I think I shoot better in this game when I've had a drink.
Survive to redeploy fallen teammates.
It's like Deadeye in Red Dead Redemption. Swig some whiskey and suddenly, bang, I'm just landing headshots left, right, and center. I'll always distinctly remember I was at a video game convention. I forget what year it was. I was extremely battered. Like, straight up mortal. Like, I haven't been that drunk in a while. And I won a Rocket League tournament. I don't know how. I don't remember winning it. And the reason I probably don't remember winning it is because one of the prizes was a bar tab. I used to be a little Rocket League sweat back in the day, but that's besides the point. It's like that clip from South Park. I'm not drinking whilst driving, I'm driving whilst I'm drinking. Oh, dude. In Rocket League, obviously.
Enemy
In the game,
UAV
in the game.
active.
I just,
Hostile
I
UAV
don't...
in the area.
I'm a very simple man. I get weary about putting caffeine in my body and putting too much of it in. I just don't see the need for anything else. You know, I've had my fair share of university experiences, and I just don't see the value in it, to be honest. I just find it weirds me out more than anything. Like, I know guys who are doing, like, computer science degrees who... Let's say they were exam ready. I think that's the way I would describe it. Just always look so out of it. I'm just like, my brother, when have you last slept? Oh my god, you've just been killed by a flying fish. What?
Bastard.
I would love to see the kill cam on this. I'm behind cover. Oh yeah, I mean absolutely. If you've got a medical condition that like it's required for, then 100%. You know, always listen to your doctor. But for me personally, I'm just. I don't think there will ever be an amount of money or an esport package where I'd consider it. I was so far behind cover on that last kill cam. That is crazy. I was crouched behind there for like a good 3 seconds. Why can't I jump on this? I swear this guy keeps getting abandoned by his teammate. I'm paying as shit, bro. I will ask him.
Longbow 3-1, target acquired. Strike inbound.
Not me dying to the gas in rebar.
Impact. No hit.
I'm confident that one of those guys just slid off road.
Hostile airstrike near your location.
Deployable buy station is ready. Gas is inbound.
There's someone here.
Hostile cluster mine deployed. Enemy UAV active. Hostile UAV in
They're
the
on the
area.
roof.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Tira, me han tirado. Están abajo del todo.
That's not very kind, is it?
Requesting airstrike at this location.
Copy that. Longbow 3-1 is on station. Strike inbound.
That was the worst shot I think I've ever done in my life.
Shot Smith. No joy.
I've done some
Enemy soldier incoming.
pretty bad COD shots before, but that's definitely up there with some of the worst. I can't seem to hear anything with this thing. Bloody hell. There we go.
Hello. Y el cabrón va.
Track, sí.
My Spanish brethren, you have just been shat
Enemies
on.
deployed a counter UAV.
Aim assist is kind of two things. So one, it's your left and right strafe. If you have more than 20% input on your left stick, you get stronger aim assist.
Fire sale is active.
If you have more than 5%
Station
input on your
prices are
right
adjusted.
stick, you get more aim assist. So if you're constantly strafing while shooting, which the majority of us are, then you should, hypothetically, always have a fairly strong amount of aim assist.
Der snap mich mit einem Schuss bin ich am Boden.
Don't know what you said, but it didn't sound important.
Hostile mortar strike near your position. Hostile UAV in the area. Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy UAV active.
Resurgence is about to end. Make it count. Fire sale's over. Adjusting prices.
Enemy precision airstrike. Find cover.
It's not looking like a good time up there. Guess I'll go get involved.
25 are still active in the AO.
Hostile airstrike near your location.
Target spot.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Resurgence is close. No more second chances.
Still those guys on that roof. Bloody hell, lads. Get a life.
Hostile UAV in the area. Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy UAV active.
Brother.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
Hostile UAV in the area.
It was a man. No, it's a machine. Maybe it's a bit of both. Ah, the salty dangle. Of course. How could I ever forget? Well, that was lucky on his behalf.
5 remain. You fought hard out there. Return to base for debrief. Gas moving in.
Alright. Bloody hell. Well, I think, folks, we're going to call it there, just because I needed a short stream to get back into the rhythm of things. But we'll be back tomorrow. I'll have to figure out. We'll probably be on in the morning, I reckon, sort of 9, 10 a.m. See if I can find a team for ranked. If not, we'll do a bit of Vondel. We'll figure it all out. But thank you very much for joining me on this short evening stream. It's nice to be back. There'll be plenty more coming over the next week or so. But thanks for seeing you guys. See you tomorrow morning.